Hey guys, so today's video is going to be a little bit more serious. I'm going to answer some questions that people have been asking me, so it's kind of like that serious Q&A that everyone's been asking for. Kinda. First, I wanted to let you know about a couple of interactive videos that I made that a lot of you probably don't know about, because they're on my second channel. I put links to them in the description. Trust me, they're pretty good. I put a ton of work into both, and one of them may or may not include a dab trick shots video. I'm not going to say whether it does, but if it did, I would put a little clip of that in here for you so you can get an idea of what it is. Did I hear a request for a classic double beam special? Coming right up. Now on to answering a question or two. So a lot of people have been asking about ZZCT. What is it? Why are you using it? That kind of thing. Basically, ZZCT is a variant of the ZZ method where you solve up until your last F2L slot, and then you insert your last F2L edge. Instead of solving the F2L pair, you insert your last F2L edge alone, and you orient all the corners. So if I were to do that, it would end up looking something like this, where you have your edge in place, all the corners oriented, including this one, and from there, you solve the rest of it. That first step where you orient corners and insert the edge, that's called TSLE, Tran Style Last Edge, because the method was invented by Tran. And then for that last part where you solve the rest of it, that's TTLL, or Tran Thompson Last Layer, which was invented by Tran, and then Blake Thompson contributed a bunch of algorithms for it. Now for why I'm using it. Basically, the average move count for a ZZCT solve is pretty similar to Roux, maybe even a little bit lower, depending on how good you are with Roux and how good you are with ZZCT, but it's in the vicinity of 40 to 50 moves on an average solve. Now, Roux is also a really good method. I should just get that out there. I think that Roux is significantly better than CFOP and significantly better than just, like, normal ZZ. I do think that ZZCT is slightly better, though, because like I said, it's about the same move count, and in my opinion, the ZZCT move set is more ergonomic. It's more RU based, so a lot of your algorithms come down to doing RU moves rather than MU based, because in Roux you're doing a lot of moving the M slice, and that's just a little bit more locky because like you've got more reverse corner cutting then if you're doing that, and I just think ZZCT has a better move set overall. It's also better for one-handed because it's more RU, and even though Roux M turns for one-handed are not as bad as people think they are, you just put the cube down on the table and they're pretty easy, but RU moves are definitely even easier. Another reason I use CT is that the chance of getting a really good single solve is just huge. Right now I've learned CT, and I don't even know all the algorithms. I've done about 500 solves, and my PB is sub 10. Now, I'm averaging like 18 or 19 because I'm still really slow with all the recognitions and stuff, but just because of a lucky skip, I got a sub 10 single. In those 500 solves, I've had 4 forced last layer skips that I would not have had if they were just a normal solve. Now, the times on those weren't that good because, like I said, it took me a while to recognize, but if you compare that to something like CFOP, that's 4 out of 500, or about 1 in 120. Now, I should say that the average for CT is actually 1 in 360 or so I'm getting a little bit lucky there. But still, compare that. 1 in 360 solves, you'll get a last layer skip with ZZCT. For CFOP, it's more like 1 in 15,000. For ZZA, which is like the normal version of ZZ, it's 1 in 2,000 or so. So the chance of just getting a full last layer skip with ZZCT is absolutely huge compared to those. I've also had a solve where I didn't get any skips at all, but my last slot and last layer only took 11 moves. For comparison, using ZZA with 2-look last layer, which is what I was doing before, the absolute best you can do with no skips is an 18-move last slot plus last layer. And that's only if you get a very specific case where you have a soon into an A-perm with no AUFs, and you also have a 1-move insert on your F2L pair. With ZZCT, there are a ton of cases where you can get like between 10 and 15 moves for your last slot plus last layer and have it be just a totally normal no skips solve. So after hearing all this, CT sounds pretty great, right? So what are the downsides? Why isn't everyone switching to this? It basically comes down to one thing, and that is the amount of algorithms you have to learn and be able to recognize. You have to be able to recognize 72 TTLL cases, which I will admit are pretty hard to learn, and they take a while to get so that you can execute them quickly. And then you have to memorize about 100 or so TSLE algorithms, and those are much, much easier than the TTLL algorithms. I can already do like a good half of them, and I've only been working on that for like 2 weeks. And when I say working on that for 2 weeks, I mean like at school during lunchtime I'll learn like 12 algorithms or something, and they're such simple algorithms that I don't forget any of them. Oh, and I guess there's also the whole like using ZZ thing. Some people have a problem with that for some reason. Personally, I've been using ZZ for so long that it seems like it's a pretty easy way to solve the cube, like learning edge orientation and stuff, but I understand that for most people, that is not the case, so learning ZZ itself can be pretty difficult for a lot of people. So yeah, that's why I use CT. There are some links in the description if you want more information about the method. I don't think anyone's made a good video tutorial for it yet, and I'm planning to do that at some point, but I want to be better with the method before I do that. So yeah, I guess that's about all I wanted to say in this video. I'm probably gonna make more sort of serious answer questions in the future if you guys like this one. I don't know if you do. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. Anyway, be sure to check out that dab trickshot video. And while we're on the topic of wrapping up the video here, how about you go to thecubicle.us and use 5% off at any order with the discount code POCKETS. I feel like I said that wrong, but you know what I mean. So yeah, you know, just do that, support the channel. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you on Monday.